Hi, very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectibles. Today we're looking at a 1/72nd RC tank. Yeah, hi. So I've just been given this as a gift from my brother and his family, so thank you very much. It's an RC tank. It's 1/72nd scale. It's a beautiful model in its own right. It's of a Challenger. The series is Desert Storm series, and there's there's five tanks in the series that you can get. I do like this kind of thing. The reason being it's a bit of a crossover, that you've got a kind of toy aspect in the fact that it's like radio controlled and you can fire at your opponent's tanks and keep score, etc. But in its own right, it's also a lovely little model. So this kind of crossover in between the modelling world and the toy world, I think, is fantastic. Now, it's made by a company called Torro. I've had a look at them on the web. They do seem to be one of the sort of premier manufacturers for military type RC vehicles. Can't see much about the 1/72nd scale on there, so need to do a bit more investigation into that. But as I say, you can run 4 of these together, have a mock battle. It does say that it can climb gradients of about 20 degrees, so we'll have a look at that. So what I thought we'd do, I'll take this over to the bench where I can film from above, open up the box again, have a nice detail of the tank and what comes with it, and then run it around and see what it can actually do. Okay, let's have a good look at this. So the first thing to say is how well presented it is. What a great box. You've got a window at the top here so you can view in to the tank itself, and then a window from the front which gives you a panoramic view. The model itself is presented on a base plate of texturing, looks fantastic, and then with some background scenery. I don't know if that's coming out on the camera. Yes, it is. That's looking pretty good. Unfortunately my lights are sort of reflecting on the glass a little bit, but I think you get the gist. The trademark for it is a bantamweight, which is just here. So that's the trademark for this type of model. It is 1/72nd scale bantamweight remote control tank series. So this one is particularly from the Desert Storm series, made by Torro. As I said, I think they're I know they're a manufacturer of military vehicles, RC, but they do tend to be much larger than this. So maybe this is something new they're getting into. Maybe it's a tie-up with a different manufacturer and they've just badged it as Torro. I'm not sure, but the actual tank itself sitting inside there does look fantastic. As I say, I have had this out of the box because I did want to charge it, so it's not sitting quite as flush as it was when when I first picked it up, but there you go. So around the box, let's just have a look on the side. So it gives you some idea of what's inside. So as I say, Torro is a German company, so the primary language on the box is German, but underneath it's written in English. So we've got authentic sounds, and it says authentic sound effects recorded from originals, airbrush painted. So as I say, it's a unique airbrushing on each of the models, true to scale, rubber tracks, 180-degree turret rotation, all direction steering, proportional steering, and incline up to 25 degrees. I think I said in the introduction 20, but 25, but we'll give it a go in a bit. In this Desert Storm series, on the back here, we've got the Challenger 1, the Iraqi T-72 M1, and the US M1A1 Abrahams. I've got the Challenger here. Looks as though there's 2 others, which is the Qatari AMX-30 and the Centurion Mark V. Those are blanked out at the moment. I wonder if they're coming in the future and it's just these 3 that are available. But as I say, the one we're looking at today is the Challenger. And then just looking on this side, gives more details about the sort of play effect of these. So 2 tanks may combine to fight against the other 2 tanks, so you can pick teams. Intelligent binding connects to each chosen tank automatically. So as I say, you can run 4 tanks at the same time with the binding systems that's with the controllers. So infrared controlled and battle system. Indications for hit and survival situation. So I think I said in the introduction, there's markings on the controller that tell you, who's winning, who's losing when you do this sort of battle simulation. 4 players can drive all simultaneously. charging, there's a LiPo battery in the tank. You charge it from the controller, just shown here. You charge it and you get 15 minutes running time on there. So, and then that's all round the outside, and then just on the bottom, there's just some little warnings about do not touch the moving tracks, suitable for 14 and over. You know, obviously there's some very small parts in here, and a little warning about the infrared on there, but that's all that's on the base. So let's open it up and take a look. So just slide in from the back of the box here, open the lid. Right, so immediately you're presented with the tank, and as I say, it's sitting on a plastic base, and it's got various background showing. I'll just put that to one side, and then we have the control unit in a plastic packaging, so I'll just take that out. So that's the control unit, and then in here we have a plastic door and a plastic turret. I'll just move that out of the way. And then in the bottom of the box we've got some instructions and a small piece of paper. Okay, so the small piece of paper, this bottom door, basically you can replace the door on the bottom of the tank. Comes with a packaging door, and this is a replacement door for show. And then the turret you attach for show, and then you remove when you're in a battle using the infrared. Okay, so let's take this off and have a look at the tank. So the tank was held on with multiple of these ties, and I just put it back in on one tie for now, just so that I could remove it quickly on camera. Like so. So slide that out. As I say, there's this lovely sort of presentation base that you can, you know, display the tank on. Weathered in places, looks really good. So that's in there, and then here's the base of the tank. So you can see that on the packaging base you've got the slots either side, so you can just slide this through. I think what I'll do is I'll slide that out. What I'll do is I'll replace that over and get rid of this packaging bit. Okay, and then the tank, it does look really good. You got the lifting the cannon, or the up and down. Got very detailed guns on the front, and mortars there, guns on the side, I guess. Really well weathered. Around the back here you can see where it's been dusted in. Does look really superb. What a lovely little model. Beautiful. Rubber tracks on the bottom here, and obviously here you've got, I'm guessing that's the infrared transmitter, this is the infrared receiver. So under normal conditions, if you're displaying the tank, you would fit this turret. Get it out of the packet. Yeah, the gun doesn't move on that, so I won't be very gentle with it. And that just sits over the top of the infrared receiver unit, like so. But as I say, if you are using it as a in a sort of battle affair, you'll need to remove that. Otherwise, I'm guessing you'll be very much cheating, in that you won't be receiving any of the hits from the other tanks in the battle. So yeah, that's the tank. Let's pop that over there. Let's just have a quick browse through the instruction book. So as I say, written in multiple languages, primary language being German. Usual, all the things you shouldn't do. Then we've got how to charge it. So basically in the side of the controller, I think in here by the look of it, yep, there's a charge wire. Plug that into the tank, turn the controller on and the tank off, and it will charge. You get a green light, and then just some, you know, keeping the batteries good, and then it tells you about the controls on the control unit. Yeah, and this is just telling us again about the the turret, that if you are using it with the infrared system, you do need to remove the turret. And then we've got various sound effects on there with a volume control here, and then also we've obviously got team player function, which is this controller here, where you can team up with other people in the battle. And there's more over here about controlling the tank and how the infrared signal works. Unfortunately, with only one of these, I can't really give too much demonstration of how the battle works, but we'll have a look at the tank itself. And there's just more information about the various different tanks that you can get in the series. Right, okay, so there are different conflict zones, I guess. So the one we're looking at today is the Desert Storm, but then there's in here National Defence and the Bosnia conflict. So different ranges and different tanks in each range. Right, so let's have a look at the controller. So just switching on, we can hear the sound, which is the sound of the tank starting up and running. And we have a volume button on there as well, so I can turn the sound up and down, which is really good. Let's turn the tank on. I'm just going to remove the turret from the top and put that over there. And the light on top's gone green, which means the tank is now bound to the controller. And if I turn, let me move that more into the middle, using the stick, I can rotate the turret left to right. Doesn't rotate all the way around, it goes sort of 90 degrees either side, which is pretty good. And then on the other stick, we've got a forward motion and a rear. Oh, that's interesting. So when you're moving the tank, we do lose the sound. That's a shame. That's a shame. It would have been good to have a different sound effect come on when you do use that. At the top here, I'm guessing these are binding for different battles. And then we have on the side here machine gun fire, and again that will be transmitting a recoil on the fire. That's really cool. So let's see, you can rotate the tank left and right, that's really good, forward and backwards. And that's really good, I would say. Firing in a recoil. What a great little toy, fantastic. So, in terms of, won't go over things, let's give it a go. I'm making no trouble with that at all. Now, it's going to be quite difficult because of the camera angle here, but I'm going to lift this up a few centimetres and just drive it up. It's no problem at all. Let's go a bit further. Very ambitious. Nope, that's too far. Right there. Not quite, it's slipping. So it will go over. It will go over quite an obstacle. I think it's the traction that gives way. Yeah, so all in all, what a great little toy. That's fantastic. I really like that. It's really, really quite nice. Let me just bring that turret back round. Yeah, so unfortunately I can't give it too much of a demonstration because you need two of these to see what happens when you fire on an opponent. But got machine gun and the shell launcher. Brilliant, brilliant. So there you go. It's just a quick. I will turn this down so the sound goes off. Yeah, so there you go. So I just wanted to do a quick review of this fantastic little tank. It's so good. I really do like it. And when it's sitting, let's just put that turret back on the top. So when it's sitting on its base like so, I mean, doesn't look fantastic to have it on display. Just keep my finger on the turret there. That looks really, really cool on the base. So a lovely thing to have on display, and then with the added function that it can be used as an RC model. So yeah, that was just a very quick review of this little tank. As I say, 1/72 scale, looks fantastic, seems to run fantastic. It's a couple of little niggles. That it's a shame that the sound goes off when it moves, which is a little bit of a pity, and the fact that you have to remove the turret for it to use it in its sort of battle capability. But I mean, they're very small price to pay for a fantastic model. So there you go. Well, I wrapped up the filming yesterday, and then took this outside to do a little bit of filming of it running, and discovered something quite interesting. So you might have seen earlier on, when I was running the tank backwards and forwards, as I pushed forward, the sound would disappear. Let me just demonstrate that again. So I'm just going to turn the sound up a little bit on the controller so you can hear it. So as I move forward, the sound cuts out, and back, the sound cuts out. Now what I noted outside, and I'm just going to turn the sound up for this bit, if I leave it running for a while, it picks up on a different soundtrack, and it does make a sound when it moves. So I was mistaken earlier. I'll just do that again. Yes, so I was mistaken earlier. It does have sound when it moves. So apologies for that. I have put a note earlier in the video, just but rather than film it all again, I'll leave that piece in and just edit this bit on the end. As I say, thanks ever so much for watching. I'll leave this video with some shots of it running outside, but if you enjoyed it, thanks again, and yeah, catch you next time.